So the issue we have is because I noticed that the school, which we put down, wasn't getting any students. So I looked in my mods and had the game, I think it was the Game Anarchy mod, where you can change different settings. And I decided to turn off a bunch of things which were just like, it would maximize my education. It was actually maximizing the death care, the rubbish. And it was, that was just making them perfect. So they didn't have actually any needs. Anyway, that caused an issue when I turned them off, because now all those needs need to be met. And the traffic is so bad that the city can't function anymore. So you may notice that the population, which was at like 50,000 something, has dropped down and is stabilized here. That's just because if we zoom in, you notice that nothing is actually getting done in this city. Even around here, like the local traffic is fine, but the main highway in is absolutely packed, and this is causing quite a lot of problems now. That even in the cities with the worst traffic in the world, they're not, it negatively affects health and stuff like that, but it doesn't shut down the city quite like this. So it is definitely not ideal. The public transport is going well. I wanted to capture that vibe of like in India, where the trains, like there's literally not enough trains to pick up all the passengers at the time. Like there's just, the tracks are not built well enough to be able to handle the capacity that's needed. And that is also causing us some issues. So whether you may need to rethink that, I'm not too sure. But we do at least have people using our schools, which is good. They didn't come out here because that's just aesthetics, which is a bit of a shame. We do see people coming in and out, which is good. And over here you can see there's some people here, some high school kids doing their stuff. So, all they're using this as well. So yeah, a little bit of good, a little bit of bad. We're supposed to be using this as a turnaround, I suppose, but that's not working. What if I use, gonna do the classic, grab that. Gonna tell the game not to park here. And we'll make that, we'll stretch it out. So it looks like a bit of a cul-de-sac. They can use that as a turnaround. So do I have the mod that means they don't use, so you go to TMPE, are they actually able to use their pocket cards? Because I don't want them using pocket cards, apparently. So I don't know why we're seeing these people. Looks like they were commuters who just spawned cars, which you're not supposed to be able to do, which is annoying, but we'll see. I don't think I've got any trains getting stuck. No, they just, they're slowly moving their way through, and there's just too many people for the amount of trains. Actually, are they getting stuck? Yes, someone's getting stuck. What's going on here? So you're probably trying to get up here? What's going on? It's hard to tell with these ones because I don't know which direction they're trying to go, and the game does not actually have any like ability to wait for a clear path, which is annoying. If I get rid of this one, is this guy going to move this way? Or is this guy going to move this way? I think you're trying to get down here. Am I correct? Because I'm pretty sure they're getting backed up, coming out, and then into here. I think I did actually move this to a 2-lane back here, and I think I need to do it back here. I was thinking like just this one little bit shouldn't cause too many issues. It's causing issues. So the game just does not have the AI to figure out the single lane. So I'm just going to upgrade these all to 2-way, and then that should hopefully stop those from getting messed up, which is a pain. This one, like over here that I've set up, I've done the 2 as like a makeshift turning lane. I've done the single around here, but I don't think there's going to be much actual trains using this, if any. It's got garbage. I hope this does get used somehow, but a lot of this is just aesthetically here. So I may need to make fake trains like I did here to make this place look more alive, because it's not really getting actually used for its purpose, which is a shame. I might even, maybe I'll get rid of some of these and put down just like warehouses, just so that you can see a little bit of traffic coming back and forth. Anyway, from the last episode, I was having some issues with shadow play, so I didn't have a recording. So I'm just going to show you what I did. I've got some more, I don't know why are you like this? Why are you like this, guy? Why did you move? If you keep doing that, I'm going to have to delete you. So I've got some of these are just fake ones. Yeah, these are just some scenery ones to get the look of a port coming down here. I think I've seen pretty much all of this, and I just added like maybe a couple extra buildings, but yeah, this is like some recycling and stuff. So over here I expanded our big tankers. So these will be oil tankers for refueling ships. So you can see the train line that comes past here also comes up here and down between here, and this is where the trains could get refueled, or they could drop off fuel from here. Maybe this is a way that there can be connection from here to the train if needed. I've noticed that this one road is often the main road to get through here, because this road now doesn't connect over to this side, so you have to go all the way up. So if you're over this side and you're trying to get past, they're taking this road in the middle, so that's a bit of a problem. But I turned the speed limit down really low, so this is like 10 kilometer. You can see they're crawling along, so that hopefully makes the AI realize that this is going to be quicker to come around this way instead. But anyway, that is still the one connection, so maybe we'll need to fix that up. Anyway, I've also connected these pipe networks, which is such a cool network. I mean, this is fantastic. And now this network comes up here, and I've created this, and now goes over top of this warehouse, and I've made this little fake refueling section, which is admittedly, it is close to this, which is a problem, because now when there's a big ship like this here, and if there was a ship here, you can't really get through, which means I'd have to try to turn around and come out here, which I don't think that's what they like to do. So I think maybe I made a mistake putting it here, and I think maybe everything should be moved to yeah, somewhere around here-ish instead. But I'll I'll at least move this back here, pretend that it's got a few, because I don't think it like fuels in the middle all the time, and that kind of makes it look a little bit less cramped, but not really, because it's still the same distance. A bit of a shame. Maybe I'll move that at some point. I just made it and I realized that there wasn't really enough room to get through. This thing's pretty cool. I don't know if this is real or like from a sci-fi or something. It looks kind of sci-fi, but the workshop thing didn't really make it seem like it. This is a transport ship, so I think this is military, which means that this is, they were just a military ship that, it was in the area and they needed refueling, so why not use ours? We will accept the business. Anyway, I think this is pretty cool. Just like from cobbled together assets, like just used a crane. That technology could absolutely be used for just refueling a ship. So yeah, pretty happy with that. But yeah, maybe moved in the future. The only other thing I did, I wanted to. So this is our sewage and water reclamation plant that I've set up. So I got some nice assets. It's not terribly big, but it's not a terribly big city. But who knows if this is even slightly reasonable for the amount of people we'll be having in here. But best you can do, I could always expand a little bit more into this area if I needed it. But yeah, just a few, whatever these will be, treatment clarifiers and some pumps and regular stuff. Basin, and this one again, just another treatment basin. So I don't know what they do, but that's generally what real treatment plants look like. So just laid out as best I could. Got some plants over here for whatever processing and office needs they have. Did some detailing, and I'm pretty happy with the effect. We'll see if we need a little bit more later on. And this is now my garbage processing. So waste transfer, recycling, it's just a warehouse. This is my waste disposal, so this will be where they're destroying and burning it, and then the waste processing, which I don't really know exactly how the waste processing versus the waste transfer works exactly, but it is doing stuff. But this one's powering, and this one is not. So if these do the same thing, I have to look on the wiki. If these do the same things, I might just delete it, because I make a leave just there for aesthetics. I do that obviously, but either way. And then this is, it's cutting out the mountain a little bit. I'll probably need to do something to make that look a little bit more natural, but for now we will leave it. I think that the city, the offices will kind of extend in here. There'll be some apartments and stuff, and maybe this will be a little bit more apartmenty area around the lake, but still, you don't want it too close to the industrial, but they'll blend together pretty well, so they'll start to pull over this way. Anyway, what we will do, we really should be fixing all of these issues we're having with the roads, because it's real big down on our city, if I'm honest. I can maybe start running some more trains and just seeing if that helps, because there's definitely a lot of demand, but there's just so many people who are going to be taking the road, especially it's people moving in often, I think, are bringing in their cars. So even once they've arrived, I think the car usage might go down, but we still need the huge backlog of cars to clear out before that's available. Maybe that's what they're doing here. Maybe they're coming in and they're actually dropping off at the train station there, or what are they doing? Are they just using this as like a turnaround, maybe? I'm very confused, because people seem to be coming up here and then just U-turning and then coming back. Are they using this as a U-turn? But if they were, wouldn't there be more people coming out this way? I'm a little bit confused with that. I'm going to just change this section to that, so now there's a left turn, so we can see where people are actually trying to go. Definitely confused what all these cars were trying to do. Cutting a bit close there, but that's fine. But I think it looks like there was a little bit of after I did the cul-de-sac, I think that kind of cleared out traffic, but I think it's still filtering out, so I don't think they're actually using that as U-turn. Either way, it's fine. This is all pretty busy, is it? Yeah, it's getting there. Okay, I'm gonna just add, even though I was trying to go for that, a very under-serviced public transport vibe, I think I'm gonna add some more trains to these services just to try and get the city moving along. Looks like this one, it's got a little bit of demand, but I think that's just from those trains that are getting stuck and then needed to be removed. So I think they will get serviced soon enough. It's got enough capacity. Where is the external one? Are you getting enough? You're a little bit under service. I'm going to add a couple more there and start getting a few more people in through public transport, hopefully. I'm just going to spend a little bit of time while we see how that goes, putting in another bit of more of a statement building. When I mean statement building, I always think of like this as like more of a statement building, or like even this one, something that needs a little bit more detailing versus just putting down a building like this or another office building like one of these. This one's big and it's very useful, but I didn't do much detailing specifically for this one, whereas more of a statement building like this area is a bit more like a involved area. So that's what I mean when if I ever say like a statement building. Are you getting, I think just the influx of trains just spawning just created a bit of a backup, but they're moving through. And I think I will focus on, what was I going to do? Over here, I reckon. I'm going to put because around the edges, there'll probably be a bit of, around the edges, I think there will be a bit of, a bit more, what do you call it? There could be more fancy condos, could be a bit more demand, there could be more hotels there tourists, and this will be a fairly touristy little section here in the middle. So I think we'll also do hotels over around here and along here. So I think we're going to start with probably a big building, probably on this section here. And I guess we'll need to find out exactly what building I want to put. To probably be something that will have residential demand, whether we pretend it's a hotel or an apartment. It'll be a building that has, apartments. So I just need to find one, and then I guess we'll decide from there what exactly we're going to be doing. I think this will be a pretty tall one. I think for like this area here, this will be the tallest one in the middle. You should have you don't want them to be too... Over here, there's more like a line of apartment buildings, but for the most part, I think you sort of want to have an area where there'll be one central tall bit, and then sort of cascading down from there, so that it doesn't look too samey. You can have some variety in the heights. So this will probably be the tallest one in this immediate area, so it'd be a fairly tall one, I reckon. So you try and find one that has probably enough size and interesting look to be able to put in this area here. Okay, I found a bunch of pretty good ones, but I think this is the thing that the kind of idea that I'm thinking we'll go for. So I reckon I'll put this one down, and we'll just try to make this look nice. But I think this is a pretty cool looking one, and having this big wall of glass facing out here. Imagine that have like the restaurant and more public areas there, and or even like conference rooms or something you could hire out. Hotels do that, right? And then you'd be able to stay in the tower itself. So I think we'll probably, I'll key this off to make a nice or unnatural but straight line place for this to sit, and then that can be looking out over the water, which I think will be pretty nice. We'll probably delete this little area. This probably by the time this was built, a lot of these would have been modernized by then anyway. These are the very historical things. So they can probably get out here, and this probably be a plaza, I reckon. We'll just keep this as a plaza. Maybe if some businesses scatter around, always like to do little bars and cafes and stuff on plazas. It's like my favorite thing. So I reckon we'll do that. We'll just start with just getting rid of all of these guys. Just get buildings, and then help out demand by simply destroying all of these. And all of these roads will also go. And then you'll probably be complaining. Nope, I'm complaining. Alright, sure. So props, trees, then all of those. So if we get like a key or a pier of some kind, I quite like this one that I've been using here. Alright, got a flat land, so able to connect these nicely to this pedestrian path, and this one connects to the road. Does kind of fix this? No, okay. Like that. It's kind of just going to be there, I suppose. We'll see if we can ignore that, and I'll see if I want to change that later. I think maybe if I change like this one to these two pedestrian later on, then that'll be able to fix that up. Who knows? We'll think all this middle bit, and this will become just concrete. I can put a texture over it later if I feel like it. Just run that along there. We'll I think this one can stay probably garden. I think that'll probably be nice. And here probably a good place for like a little building if we want one. If we got like some kind of, it could be bar. We've used this asset before, but I think I'm going to reuse it again. We'll try and get some tables. Can we find the same one they've got here? That would be good. Yeah, there we go. So, well, maybe we put down some kind of decal actually over here. I've got these path decals, which are pretty cool, which I could do to, lead up to it, but I guess we'll find out if we want that later. I don't like this one. This is one I think a vanilla one, so you see it a lot. I'm not really a big fan of that. I think we could probably find something a bit nicer, even if it's just something like this. Yeah, this is simple, but I think this should work nicely. And if we just have, whoops, that building's getting real in the way. Do 3 like that. That works super well. And then we can just copy that like so. And then we've got a nice little area. So some sit down ones, and then we can put these barrels around like this, and there'll be more for like just standing around to get some more people in there if it's busy. I think I like these bamboo plant things. So if I can find, yeah, I'll probably use some ones like this. Then I will do like one there, one there, one there. I don't think I'll fence off this area. I don't think that should be required, you know. I haven't exactly worked out what the liquor license laws are in Jalan, but I'm just going to assume that's going to be okay. And we'll, yeah, get some boring little bamboo here. What do you mean it's already got like a mod to turn on? Get some of these big ones. A little bit of ambiance. Alright, pretty happy with that. That should be, you know, I think if there was, you know, more actual people around this area, then it will make it look a little bit nicer. So we'll see if people actually come to this place and start to gather. I think there'll definitely be some opportunities to have a little bit of detailing around here, like just some, you know, like you add a few things like some vending machines and some tables and chairs, like just along the walls. That definitely helps make this area look a bit nicer. I think if I do that, and that puts the railings on the outside. So if you ever encounter that issue, that's a way to fix it. And I notice that this is not concrete, so there we go. And yeah, I think this should be lowered down. That's looking a little bit weird. And things are updating this area. I think we'll probably put a temporary wall along here, or maybe should I? No, I'll leave it and I'll wait till we actually upgrade the train line fully before I do that. Okay, so this bad boy has 1,300 people, so that's definitely going to help with some demand, although it will also, by the same measure, cause more people to arrive in the city, so that's not exactly going to be great for other parts of the city. We'll see if that sort of tends to improve it all. We've got a bunch of guys all in one spot. You stuck, or are you just a bit slow getting through? I think it's just taking a little while to get through. Yeah, so that will fix itself up. Over here, this one, so that's just the outside one. So that's good. Good to see people coming in via the train, not coming in with the cars, because there's really not many ways to get in a reasonable time anymore. A lot of people want to be picked up here. All these trains just waiting for their turn to come through. It's a bit of a shame. Like, we have a lot of these trains, and why are you just? Oh, okay. This is one like I downloaded. I wasn't sure if I'm going to use it, but so the game just uses them, just randomly generates any train from the things I download. So that makes sense. If these guys are slow, or if there's like I haven't done the train stations very well, that is also probably a problem, because it's a just a 2-lane. Yeah, I think this train station is actually probably wasn't the right call to do at the time. I thought this would be the final train station, but I think we'll actually have to upgrade one to maybe a modular one that lets me put in more stations, because I don't think this 2-track setup is really working for us. Although I do like the train, I do like the station, and the bit underneath is really cool. It'd be cool to have like a tram that went underneath and transferred there. I was just thinking if we were going to do a tram, that's a really cool setup to have. But the capacity is just not really what we're looking for a very train-centric city like this. I think that will definitely be needing more than the 2 tracks. So that'll be a future issue though. Oh, some of my tables and chairs all disappeared. Why is that? Of all the things, just some of the tables and chairs disappeared. Can't remember if I had other stuff around here anyway. I know I said I wanted this to be like the tallest one in the area, but I found this one, and I was thinking, you know, just having it like here, like we'd get rid of this like key that was here from the map theme, and just put this down as well. And then that kind of has that same look to it, which I quite like. The game is freaking out for some reason, but having this here right on the edge is like a pretty desirable feature for a building like this. The game is frozen. It usually does. If it does this, it usually comes back, but we'll just give it a sec. So I know that immediately breaks my thing I said about having the one tool and then going off from there, but I quite like this. I think this is what you would definitely want to have. Like, it's a bit like annoying to everybody because now their lovely beach view is disrupted by this thing. But that's kind of how the real world works, right? And then instead of having everybody having a view out there, we now have, it's 264, which doesn't sound correct. We have like a few hundred people who all have a incredible view up here, and they could sell that for more. So I think that's how they would probably have really done it. So the population, the calculated floors, didn't do any. The two-tone makes me think like you could have apartments up top and then hotel down the bottom, probably split it up. Wonder how many people you could have in a place like this. I reckon it's at least, like, this is a tall building. This is a really tall building. You'd probably at least have, you'd definitely have like 1,000 people in here, right? I really don't know how many people you have in a building. I mean, this one has 1,300. I don't know if that's too many. Let me do some research on hotel capacity. Okay, so luckily this year, because this is a real building, we're able to find some actual real stats on this. So the top half is apartments. These are the penthouses, and these are supposed to be just offices. And I was able to find that this does in fact have 520 apartments according to this one source. I'm not sure if there's like one single apartment goes all the way through, or if it's cut in half or not, because I think because if we said 40 floors, which I think is 40 floors of residential, and there was like 6, then that's only about 200. That's around what this is. That's what they say, but then this one online says that it's about double that, so I'm not sure exactly what to believe. I think they have like an official count, like on their website or anything. I have another one here that says 400 different residential apartments. I'm just gonna say that this is a little bit too low. I'm gonna say 500. And if I want to, I can always do one of the, it's called like a block. Like one of these, and have it as a like office block service that I can like block down. I think this has, this is 3, so we're gonna have like 100. And then I can just move like just into there and hide him and pretend that that's a office block. Although actually we'll do that in a second, because now having put this down here, I think I like the idea of having this here along with this guy. So I think we'll have these two here. I think they complement each other pretty well. But I'm going to just delete all of the stuff that's here first, so we have some room to do things. So I'm pretty much just going to do pretty blanket everything must go. Alright, I don't think we'll have a key around this one. I think it's already got this wall. I wonder if we could do like a new fancy like elevated path that comes around. It could even come around here if I wanted to do. Something to consider for sure. But we'll leave that for now. This one I've just got straight up to this one. Are these all the same height? These should all be the same height. No, okay. Yes, so you're a little bit lower, so you've kind of messed up the look of it a little bit, but that's okay. So if you want to get in, where do you actually walk into here? Okay, so these, I guess these ramps here at the end, you can walk along, and then you can come in here or through here, I guess. So I guess those are the entrances, or straight through the middle. That's really cool, having the water there and then being able to come up. That's awesome. All right. Pretty happy with this. I think here, because we're going to respect the terrain just enough, I'll probably need to do an artificial wall along here to flatten this out for this building when they would have done it. But I reckon we can maybe do some stairs there and yeah, connect the road straight down the middle as well. I don't know what to do in this middle bit yet, but we'll come up with something. If we do, definitely one of the first things you should learn when you're trying to make a more realistic city in City Skylines, and I don't even do the most realistic looking stuff out there, but I've definitely learned that you need to be able to use keys and retaining walls and stuff to make these kind of cuts around here, because the terrain getting messed up all the time is really detrimental to that realistic look. So definitely learning to how to deal with more challenging terrain can be a good skill if you want to make your cities look a little bit better. Does that run along there? That can kind of force it to, to flatten off as well. Well, it's not perfect, but that's somewhat actually, apart from like right here. It's actually looking pretty good actually, so I am happy with that. I wonder if I can terraform, like this road, this path here has done a good job, but I wonder if I can, if I do that, that kind of helps. If I can push this all the way along to there, and I'll give a pretty nice hard edge to where it meets the road there, and I just need to lower it down, turn all that into concrete, and I reckon that actually is a pretty good solution. Let's make sure that's sloped, and that I reckon is pretty nice. It's a nice way to get a nice hard edge where this is. And if we make this garden of some kind, like I was planning, then that's going to look really nice. I'll need to decide what I want to do here. Maybe, yeah, actually, I could actually extend this out a little bit. I think we'll make that a beach, a private beach just for the people who are staying here. So, this side would be more public. Like, there's no real way to, you haven't done anything on this side of the train line yet. But this would probably become a more public area where everyone could go. And then over here will be a private beach. Might as well do that now, so we'll get a nice low height. We'll just extend this out, smooth that around, and actually we'll make that a little bit flatter. What is causing this little guy to have issues? Is part of the big building? Yeah, it looks like that's just part of the building, which is weird. But I think if I just do some ferns and things along the side, that should probably take care of that. I think we could very easily hide it. You may notice I don't have the forest brush mod anymore. That was having some issues, it wasn't working. So I uninstalled it, but I've forgotten to try and reinstall it since then. So maybe it might have been out of date or something, because it didn't seem to be working for me. So we will see when I reinstall that, if that's started working again. Just do a few things along there. It's looking nice, and we get a path of some kind. We'll have that winding our way down to the beach. That one's not as aesthetically pleasing. I kind of want a more dirty one instead of a paved one, or at least like a wooden one. Though some of them flatten the terrain a little bit more than others. Main walking pedestrian path. Okay, that's just cobblestoned. Probably not what we're going for. I think that first one's probably just what we're going to have to do. Or at least one of these ones. I think of the vanilla. Maybe we'll just do the vanilla one. And then maybe we'll just do some decorations around it to make it look a little bit better. It's a little bit, could look a little bit nicer. If we do things like, been using the overgrown, not the grass, like the overgrown network recently. Can I just run that like alongside and just adds like a little bit of cool detail? This is a really good network because it displays more depending on what angle you're on, which is like just one of those weird quirky things that Skylines does sometimes, but it kind of works for this. Kind of gives like an uneven look, which is quite nice. I think if we just add some more flowers and that around this, then that's actually going to work pretty nicely. Okay, it's nice kind of blending off at the edge, and having a bit more garden up there I think is nice. Pretty happy with that. I reckon I'll grab some of like the assets like this. These ones I have over here. Let's grab like props. It's just, do you not count as props? What are you, buildings? Just grab some like this, scatter them around. What do you mean you need a path? You don't need a path. If I just do, this is a pedestrian path, so I don't think that's gonna work. Okay, very nice. Looking good. And then I think these ones are buildings. So I think these are, no, if I do that. So I think this as a building is the one that's supposed to like attract people. Whereas if I just do the props, then these are just aesthetic ones. So we'll add a few more of these, and do I have somewhere else? I'll grab some more from like some other places, just to add some more variety. If I wanted to put the time down, I could always, you know, have people sitting around if I wanted to put down a bunch of people, but don't really want to spend the time to do that everywhere. So I'm just going to hope that maybe that building asset is actually going to help bring people down here naturally. Put down some these. This is going to work. So I'll actually push this back just a little bit so that this area gets a bit more space. Obviously, you know, you can't stop people from swimming over there, but I think we do a pretty good job. Maybe I'll put some bushes down there as well. So what was I using? I was using those beach toilets. I think along here make sense. Actually, I can use one of these line tools. Yeah, I think I'll come back. I'll use these again, these little beach bars. I think they're pretty nice to have around here actually. Let's move these assets and move you over here. Raise you up a little bit so we can see you. And you go over there as well actually. Alright, forgot that there would be a little bit of water displaced, that's fine. Give that a second, it should come back. I wanted some just some light grass just here, just to kind of be right on this hillside, but it doesn't look great, but I think that's good as we'll get without being too big. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Little patch of grass there behind, and maybe we'll also just get a couple of tall boys back here. Alright, I think that's going to be a good little interim beach setup, but I don't think there's going to be too much to add from that. Pretty happy with that. I think that's quite nice. And generally, this area and these two guys, I think are doing really good. Did I put that block back here? Is the office still around somewhere, or did I delete him? I don't recall. It's fine, I'm just going to leave it. Either way, I think these two buildings together is looking real fine. For some reason, you have worked out that you should be in there, mate. You having some troubles? That's weird. It's like an invisible wall around this guy. That sure is weird. Well, I'm going to maybe try and fix that, but maybe outside of this episode is probably when I'll do that. So what's next? It's got like a little bar here. I think there'll probably be some things in like these lobbies as well, but I still think there could be. Okay, that's kind of not looking great, if I'm honest. But I think this should still be ground separated, but I think we need to just put a wall along there. I think that could be done pretty quickly, I reckon. retaining wall. I usually use these ones. They work pretty well. This one's called a railway retaining wall, so that could definitely be good. Can I use this mod to quickly do that? If I do there to there, that has worked super easy and looks really good. So that's fantastic. Couldn't have asked for a better outcome. That was quick. Let me think. What are we going to do? Maybe like we could do like a cafe. Always like cafe around, you know, which would just be any kind of small cafe Raduga. I don't think we've got one of these yet, so maybe one. Okay, I could do it on the front here, or I could do it in here. Actually, I'm going to do it here. I'm going to put it on this thing, and I'm going to make this area a small little plaza, and use those to just flatten out this area slightly. So there's a little bit of a hill on these sides, but that's fine. You are looking a little bit funky. I'm not sure if I can stand having you that height. I'm going to put you down a little bit, see if you can make that work. And then we'll probably decal this area to give it like a little nice little square. We'll just start with, no, I probably don't need concrete to start with. I always like this one. This one's always good, so I think we could stick with this. Okay, there we go. And then we just need some more tables and chairs. Always my favorite thing to do. I just kind of do this same setup everywhere, where I'm just like, everywhere that I am, I always want to be near this exact situation. I always want, especially if I'm on holiday or wherever I live, I want to be within 2 minutes of being able to sit here and have a coffee at all times. So that's why I just put these everywhere. For some reason, we have a very strong cafe culture here in Geelong. Nice little Parisian looking cafe over here. Put some flowers around here. Obviously I can put some actual flower trees down, but I think just using these props to give a nice look is nice. Yeah, that's nice. Just some flower beds here on the outside. Delightful. And we'll actually even have someone selling flowers out here. Beautiful. Very nice. Okay, happy with that. Looking delightful. And then I'll do some more garden stuff around here, I suppose. Is there a good... I wish there was a different kind of path that was smaller, but better than the other ones I've got. See, that one's like just a little bit too much, you know? I want just a more subtle path than that. Which, you know, this hiking path that I had is probably the best one I can do, and then I could probably like modify it with putting things like along the side like I did here. I think that's actually a pretty good compromise. Okay, looking not too bad. We'll see if I like the look of that, just having these little bit of grass following the smaller paths. Let's see if I stick with that, and then I'll fill in the center bits through there. I think these will be a bit more display, like obviously you'll be able to walk through, but these are a bit more cut off. I think this one will be a bit more open fieldy, so maybe I'll do sub paths, maybe invisible ones even, and just have this more as an open green space, and this one will be a little bit more manicured, I reckon, especially like along here. I'll have like some lines of like more probably manicured flowers in that. All right, that's what I've got for now. I've kind of kept a similar theme between the two with these ones here, but this one, as you can see, is more just an open green space, and this one is a bit more of a walkie garden. So I got rid of the paths here, other than they are just usable paths, and just use these to create the X instead. Got this little center area, same with over here. They've just got different color flowers on the outsides. It's pink and yellow, and this is, a purple, like a lilac and red. So they've got a little bit different. Otherwise, they got like a nice look from above. I think that's quite nice looking. I thought maybe I could fill it in the middle with some more flowers, but I think for now we'll keep them just kind of manicured lawn. Even if I use maybe this texture over the top, that could be nice. But either way, this will be a bit more formal, and these ones will be a bit more, you can actually hang around and play, and just have a barbecue or kick a footy around. Something like that. I reckon that this is probably where we'll just leave this episode. This will be just a quick one, just of filling out this little area here. We still have so many problems. I'm still trying to figure out when I want to improve the public transport, because there's just been, I kind of wanted to have more of this area modernized before I modernize the trains. I guess I could just just do more trains for these old ones. That's fine. I kind of wanted this to be not doing very well, and then just to suddenly redo the whole thing. But maybe I'll just try and get more people using the old trains. And I was thinking of doing a light rail somewhere, which I could redo these ones possibly to, like, maybe they could be widened to have a tram line through the middle, which would probably get a fair amount of these ones going. But whether that's realistic or not, I'm not too sure. It could be that all this traffic is just new people coming into the city, and once they've all arrived, then it'll calm down a little bit. Which, I mean, the people dying out should actually probably help that, because if we look at my city statistics, my population has plummeted down from 52, and it had a bit of recovery there. That was, I think, the beginning of like last episode, and now we're back down to here. So that's gonna kind of, if it is an issue with just people coming in, then it's kind of going to be an issue to fix itself. You can see that we used to have traffic more back up here, and it's actually, I mean, it's still backed up, but maybe it's getting better. It's hard to say. The local traffic in here isn't too bad, so I think once people have moved in, then it's going to help, but it's going to kind of stabilize, I reckon, because it's going to be that people are going to come in and it's going to flood the traffic, and then things are going to have issues like the healthcare and the picking up the trash, and then that's going to cause issues. That's going to cause people to die or not move in, and then it's going to kind of stabilize at a level where it's going to work, I would think. Or it's just the traffic's just going to be stuck like this forever, and it's going to be shit. I don't really know what how well the simulation will really be able to deal with that, but yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say exactly what the simulation's doing. There's not really much point. Like, I'm making these, which are people will want to live in here, but because there's so much unsettled housing around here, just because people are dying, then really putting down new stuff is just not working out. So it may be that I need to, it may be that I end up fixing traffic a bit more than I was expecting, because it's really gonna slow down the progress that I want to make here. And again, we backed up back here. I don't know why. I don't know what they're doing. They seem to be coming in and then coming back out and then just continuing on, which is weird. I don't know why you want to do that. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this for here for now. Next episode, we'll see what we can do with this traffic, just to get things moving along enough that we can just get our services resolved, because it is definitely not ideal having this. Like, what's our traffic? It's 11%. That's actually better than it's been before. So maybe there is some potential. Who's to say? Could be, maybe we try to stop people from filtering through here so much. Even though I've got I think the speed limits, I set these, no, not really. I was saying I think I set these lower, but I guess I didn't. But I'm going to set them lower now, just through here, and that's going to try and just help the simulation know that coming through here is not going to be very quick. And I think that helps with the way that the traffic calculates where to go. So I'm going to hope that that helps with maybe people not filtering through here and instead coming around here. And while we're at it, we'll actually go grab this one. I'm going to change it to this road and see if that gives any help at all. Just notice that we also have the issue that not only do we not, is traffic really causing an issue with our healthcare, we also actually have a low level of death care as it is. So I think we'll maybe need to just try and turbocharge this area a little bit, because these are the ambulance stations, but I think we need just some more crematorium usage just around this area. So I think maybe we'll just try to fill out this area a little bit with just a couple more services that we can use to, at very least, even if the traffic is absolute hell, at least if we can get more hearses out there, then that will help us get this, then that will at least hopefully start to try and pull down the amount of dead people around. We just last episode, at the beginning of this episode, we built all this, which sent out a whole bunch more trucks to try and pick up the garbage. So we'll see if letting this simulation go for a little while, if that's going to help push that out. Maybe this, if I put down some more crematorium, then that will just sort of we'll slowly try to pull down the level, which will help for a while. I think maybe next episode we'll actually maybe work on a cemetery, both like an aesthetic one and also just to get more capacity. So I think somewhere, I'm not sure where we're going to do it, but somewhere around, I think we'll actually do a cemetery somewhere, maybe around another side somewhere, like even like on a hilltop somewhere. Maybe that we should have like or even like an urban one. Like we can, like there are cemeteries you can see definitely in like Japan, and that way they'll just be sort of crammed in where they can go. So it could be that we maybe use like a little square like this to do a little cemetery. So yeah, I think we'll maybe try to work on that straight away next time to add some more detail, but also just maybe try and get the city to not die so much. So anyway, tune in for that if you want to, and I will see you hopefully in the next one.